Good afternoon, everyone. And it is technically afternoon still for us all. One of my few times when I've ever going to be able to say something like that. Let's jump into collectively rewilding. All right. Here we are in collectively rewilding. Lots of great activity going on. Tammy, as usual, is sharing some really interesting, fun, different pieces. She's been outdoing herself and really finding some neat things lately. Should definitely jump in there and check it out. So this is How To's Community Outreach. And I'm really excited about this class because I feel like all of us can benefit. And I think this is the right tab. Yes. Okay, wonderful. So here we are. We've already got some stuff laid out for us. And we have the outreach already planned to talk to different entities about wood chips in general and possibly interacting with getchipdrop.com, right? And so I know that everybody here with us right now is completely aware of what getchipdrop.com is, but it's a very fabulous service that works with tree trimming services around the country. And these tree trimming services can pay $20 to get onto getchipdrop.com and look for people who want to get free wood chips. Now, these wood chips are not manicured. They're not pretty like what you would buy at a grocery or at a mom and pop garden store or Lowe's or Home Depot, anything like that. They have pine needles, leaves. They're all kinds of different sizes. They actually ask you, if you can, to take at least a few logs. You can even get a load that is just logs. There are all these different nice options, all right? And so as the consumer, as the person looking for wood chips, you don't have to pay a dime. You can go in and just say that you will accept a wood chip load and wait to see if it's accepted. If you want to accelerate the process or make it more likely that you will be chosen for those free wood chips, you can donate $20 to $80 for those tree trimming services to come in and utilize getchipdrop.com without having to pay their $20 service fee. So for myself, I think I offer $40. And then I also say in my little request that if it's not against getchipdrop.com's rules, I'm happy to give them $20 or $30 more for their gas because we kind of live out of the way over here in the Tooele County, the Tooele Valley, Tooele town. Everybody thinks that Salt Lake Valley, even though we're 45 minutes away from the capital, right? 45 minutes away from the capital is pretty close considering any state other than maybe like Rhode Island or something, right? So they think we're backwoods hicks over here. And that's just fine with me because I'll stay country as long as Tooele can stay country, but we're already past the rural designation where it generally ends at about 50,000. We're at like 53,000 or something like that here in Tooele. So we are no longer really technically considered rural, though where I'm at in the town, there's 2 houses beyond my house, one on the opposite side in a street instead of 2 houses on the opposite side, and it ends. There's no development that way. It's not nature. It's not a park or a preserve or anything like that. It's been damaged by human interaction, but it's never been developed. So, I mean, that feels pretty rural to me, but they have to put an arbitrary line somewhere, right? And so we're technically no longer the backwoods boonies. We're a full-on city, and we're 45 minutes away from the capital, but people don't like to come over here from the Salt Lake Valley. So I will donate $40 to the site, getchipdrop.com, and if the tree trimming service contacts me, we work it out. They don't even contact you. I'm sorry. They sometimes will tell you they're on their way, but they may not ever contact you at all. You might just walk out of your house and have a huge pile of wood chips where you've taken pictures to show them that you want it, right? So once those chips have been delivered, then it's marked as completed here in getchipdrop.com. And if you have volunteered any money so that the tree trimming service can interact with getchipdrop.com for free, then that will be accredited to that tree trimming services account. So if they were to drop off a load with my order, they would be able to use the site for free when they're interacting with me. That's $20. And then there would be a $20 credit given to their account so they could interact with anybody else on getchipdrop.com for free one more time. right? But you can do it completely for free. So what we would like to do is we want to go out and we want to talk to local tree trimming services to make them aware of getchipdrop.com, see if they may have wood chips that they'd already like to bring right on over so that they don't have to pay to put them in a landfill and waste those nutrients, right? And start getting them familiar with this idea of getchipdrop.com. And the next stage within this whole plan is to contact the parent company for the company that provides my electrical service. Electrical companies have to maintain their lines, so they have to trim trees on private property all the time because it's bothering their lines, or cut trees down entirely, whether because they're putting in new line, replacing old line, or it's simply in their way and they have the right to cut the tree down, right? They have to work with landowners, but there are certain situations where they're just going to cut down a tree entirely. And so we want to talk to the parent company's community outreach, right? Every corporation has to do some sort of community outreach through .org, nonprofit, right? Some sort of 501c3 endeavor that deals with every different municipality that they have a presence in. So as a great example, Walmart, okay? Every single town or city that has a Walmart or more than one Walmart, Walmart is required to give back to that community as a corporation. And so there's ways to interact with Walmart to have funding given to your community, right? And we'll talk about all of that as well as we continue on and we learn how to contact and interact with all of these different entities. Each one of our electrical services, all of us have electrical services, right? Unless we're in our most struggling moment, maybe we're staying with someone else, living in our car, or worse, on the street, that would not have an electrical service. But when we speak of the general overall population, the majority of us have an electrical service. Each one of those electrical services, whether they themselves or in my situation, a parent company, will have a community outreach type of foundation, nonprofit, whatever they call it. Here you see community giving and the Pacific Power Foundation, because Pacificor is the parent company for Rocky Mountain Electric, where I get my electric from. And so we'll be reaching out to entities like this as well to begin introducing the concept of getchipdrop.com. Oh my goodness, I've said that so many times, but it's still a little awkward to wrap my tongue around. All right, we'll be contacting these entities. And so for any of you who are interested in having a similar process done in your area, all you'll need to do is come into class, let us know that that's the case for you. You'll have to tell us what the electrical company or companies are for your area. For instance, here, I could have multiple companies that I could choose from. I've chosen Rocky Mountain Power. I dealt with them in Wyoming. They're a good company. They have a lot of good policies built into their company, and they used to even offer a type of homeowners insurance that covered a lot of different things, even like your plumbing and the connections to the city, up to like $3,000 or $5,000. I don't remember. They unfortunately don't have that program anymore. You better believe I tried to get it as soon as I became their customer again. But they have really good opportunities for their consumers, for their customers, to do like heat evaluations of their home to see where the cool and the heat is escaping from your home, how you can better insulate it, and a lot of different wonderful things. And that's going to be in their community giving. And who knows how much we'll find out about what they do in each of their communities when we start researching this company to make our best approach. We're not just going to cold call them, right? And be like, hey, I have this great idea. You should totally do this with me. No, we're going to look at what they're already doing, look into different elements, see if they're already doing something with their wood chips, if we can find anything out about that, find out about their structure a little bit, who we are best likely to reach out to, if we can find that kind of information, find their contact information, hopefully a phone number, definitely an email is still usable, and start formulating a plan of attack, right, on how we're going to approach each of these different entities for that community outreach, for that interaction with our desired goal at the other end, right? And so another thing that happens to be happening right here in my area with this undeveloped land that is owned by the city. They do want to develop it. As sad as that makes me and so many of us around this area, it will benefit the city in a lot of ways as well. And it's going to happen whether we want it to happen or not. So I would like to be a big part of the discussion that's taking place in regards to this area that's next to us here. And this is the site for everything. Oops. Get that off. This is the site for everything that they're doing. All right. And so this has got a lot of great information for me to utilize here with you guys and show you how I'll make different kinds of approaches to different people. Has a good overall view of what this project is. But I want to find out some information so that I am more effective in my outreach. So I want to go just to the actual website for that city, for Tooele City itself. So I'm going to go to just their homepage instead of the information that deals with what they're doing down here to the west. Okay, so here is their overall website. Let's get this out of the way. And what I really am looking for at this current moment, they have this property value information they're wanting you to check out, abatement and exemption programs, multifamily rent roll, property value information, and notice of proposed tax increase, which definitely would be something that I would be interested in. But for right now, I'm not looking at that. What I'm looking for is their town meetings, their city meetings. So I believe we're on the homepage. Yes. Okay. Community. So we have the school district, the Scholar Academy, something else, Excelsior Academy, probably different educational institutions, right? Yeah, like if you look right here, your overall title, education. Then you have local governments, you have the Tooele City. So this is Tooele County, not Tooele City. All right, so I was looking at it incorrectly, right? And then they're telling you what their service districts are. So I'll probably want to go to Tooele City. Let's just look at what we have here. The council has agendas and meetings. That's something I'm definitely interested in. Let me get that out of the way here. The council members, boards, and committees, another thing that I'll be interested in, and county code. So we have several different places already that we want to check out. So let's do a couple of things. First, let's right-click Tooele City and open link in a new tab. All right. So let's go and check out what that looks like. So here is actual cities.gov space. And they're having this, you know, tribute, and I want to X out of that, and I cannot seem to X out of that. Let me change my size. Okay. All right. And so here is the overall city, and that's who I really want to talk to, because from my understanding, this could be incorrect because this is just secondhand knowledge, talking to my neighbor, primarily who's lived here for over 20 years in that spot, right? And he's a pretty knowledgeable guy, and he works on a local, I believe it's an army base. It's some sort of military installation as a civilian. So he's pretty well in touch with a lot of things going on in the area. And he believes that it's city owned and that they're going to develop it out, and that they want to put some either homes or apartments right here. And then it's going to be industrial from everything else we've heard from him and others about what that plan is for that area. Well, that could really lower our property value and also be kind of nasty and unpleasant to see, where right now have this gorgeous view, right? Mountains all around and all these things. It could be very unpleasant for us. And so we're trying to find a way to get involved. Okay, so they have agendas and minutes, bid opportunities, the boards and council, and that's the Arts Council, Historic Main Street Commission, Historic Preservation Commission, Library, Municipal Building Authority could have something to do with it. North Tooele City Special Service District, that's not going to, and let me move these toolbars so that we can actually see the whole list here. The Planning Commission, absolutely something I'm interested in. The Redevelopment Agency, quite possibly. The Tooele Valley Museum Advisory Board, and then they have the Tree Advisory. Well, they know they want to replace a lot of trees that they put in the city on the sidewalk easements in front of people's homes. You know how on a home property, it's not really yours. You kind of have to do what the city tells you, but you have to maintain it, and it looks like it's kind of a part of your property just past the sidewalk. They know they have to replace these trees. Well, I would like to be a part of the decision making on what trees they replace them with, right? So then you have the budget, city charter, city code, city council, agendas, and minutes. The city council or the planning commission are some really great places for me to check out. Now, can I visit them? Can I attend them? I would guess so. They have the agendas and minutes here, though. They don't have anything about how you participate. They conflict of interest, elected officials, elections, mayors, newsletters, parks, arts, and recreation. I also will want to reach out to because I'd like to talk them into a strip park that runs all along the residences that are already here so that it increases the value for both sides, no matter whether they put apartments over there, condos, homes. It increases the value on this side, keeping it from going down if there are apartments over there and an industrial beyond that, right? And there's a lot of value for the city. There are like 5 churches, several schools, and even technical colleges and university extension offices and things like that that would all benefit from this park strip right here. So it'd have a lot of value. So I want to talk to them as well. I've already talked to the city planner. He was really excited, and then he didn't really get back with me. And then I reached back out to him, and he kind of passed me off to parks, arts, and recreation. So I have to find out what kind of transpired right there, right? You have the press releases, proclamations, public notices, redevelopment agency. Again, that might be something for me that is of value. And then they have transparency in government. So from here, we would pull up the planning commission. Oh, silly thing. We're going to pull up the planning commission. We're going to right click, open link in new tab. The redevelopment agency, right click, open link in new tab. The tree advisory, open link in new tab. We're going to pull up the city council and the planning commission in new tabs, as well as park, arts, and recreation. So now we have this departments here. Oh, interesting. So they have the mayor, newsletters, all these great things. Let me move this again. Adoptions from the animal shelter, attorneys, the cemetery, community development. That's another one to pull up in a new tab. Community engagement division, family and kids, mayors, neighborhood block parties. Oh, this is so fabulous. This is like something I want to do in this neighborhood already. So they have a thing set up to help you get these things accomplished. That's just so wonderful. You have economic development, not so much what I'm looking at, except for possibly public infrastructure district. So we'll right click, open link in new tab. You have the finance where there are fees, your utility bills, government waste, trash, utilities, and the water conservation schedule. Well, I would like to see that because I want to know what they think is appropriate water conservation. You have information about the fire department, the library, all this about parks and recreation, parks and facilities. We can open that link in a new tab. And trails, perhaps. Oh, the silly thing. I don't like it when they do this. Okay, open link in new tab. And then let's go community. So it's even more, it has the community engagement information, arts council, community events, a lot of great pieces, parks and recreation we've already pulled up. Explore Tooele, that's interesting, right? They have tree programs. That's different than what we pulled up before. So we'll open link in new tab. And that's on community. So what does it have for business? That's great. Lots of great options there, right? Bid opportunities, business licenses, community development we've already got pulled up, resources, Tooele County Chamber and Tourism. How do I apply for all of these great things? Connect with us, contact us, FAQs, all this wonderful information, but it doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with us except the event calendar. Go ahead and open link in new tab. And I think that will work for us for now. So now we have this huge number of tabs that we've pulled up, right? So what we want to do is we want to separate our wood chip information. Let's just even rename this. And we're going to say, let's grab log emoji. Okay, copy that. Something new, or I can't just copy my emojis anymore. It drives me freaking crazy. And then we're going to come back over here, oops, right click, paste our log, wood chips, right? Oh, right, wood chips. And then we're going to take, well, no, yeah, let's take all of these out of the wood chip tab. I didn't realize how many I was going to pull up, or I would have done this process a little differently, but this happens sometimes, so it's not bad to see how you would handle it. So this is actually where we started right here. So this is our first place at Tooele County, and then we began pulling up all these different tabs. So now I'm going to right click this tab, and I'm going to add tab to group, new group, and this is going to be city, county. All right. Then I want it to be in this turquoise color, and then I'm going to grab each of these and put them under that line, and I'm going to try as best as I can to keep them in the order that they will pulled up in, though it's not completely perfect because we went to a couple of different places and pulled up tabs. So it's not perfect, but it's still going to give us a little bit of order from all of those resources that we pulled up, right? Okay, takes just a moment. It feels so frustrating in your fingers to be this precise with your mouse, but it can be done. So this is where we started. Then we went into the, it's not the exact same thing. Interesting. So this is still Tooele County though. What's the difference here? Okay. So this is where we pulled up things like, oh my gosh, quit doing that. Their agendas and meetings, right? I'm not worried about elections. I'm not running for an election, and I don't know enough about the town yet to feel educated enough to participate in things of that nature. And so that's our main interest here, right? Okay, I just want to check and make sure that's accurate. They have their latest county news, view all recent events, upcoming events, nice. Recreation revved up, and then it's the bottom. So now, what are we interested in? We want to go ahead and right-click, open link in new tab for agendas and meetings, and then this time we're going to just jump right over it and check that out. So here are all the different meetings that they have. So today is the 17th, so this happened yesterday, a public hearing and council meeting. It looks like they're two separate events, right? You'd think that that's kind of weird that they're going to host those at the same time. Perhaps the council meeting informs the public hearing, but then continues on, right? These are the things that I'll learn as I interact with these things. And so then tomorrow, they're going to have Council of Governments and a County Economic Opportunity Board. Sounds really interesting. Let's go ahead and right-click Agenda Posted, and it's not going to let us do that. So, whoa, dude. What does that mean? Okay. Right-click, open link in new tab. We got to a place where we could, and this is a view agenda packet, open link in new tab. We're going to X out of that. And so this is tomorrow, this County Economic Opportunity Board. This is the first piece we pulled up. They're going to do welcome and roll call, meeting minutes. Whoa. Go over what happened August 21st. Then they are going to talk about grants, rural communities opportunity grant application recommendation, discussion on the fiscal year 2026 Rural Communities Opportunity Grant application. The board needs to choose a project to recommend to the county council for this grant. Oh crap, I should try to attend this meeting. Okay, and then they're going to adjourn. So this is probably just going to be, yeah, this is the minutes from their previous meeting here. All right, let's see if they have anything about the grants, outdoor recreation grants. And that's about what they have. Discussion on project ideas for the application intent to apply for the Rural County Part B grant, business recruitment, development and expansion, workforce training and development, infrastructure, industrial building development, and capital facilities improvements for business development. So those are all things I want to know more about, right? Then you have this, and let's see if it's just the exact, this is just the agenda for the upcoming meeting. So I don't really need that. This one's a little bit more comprehensive, and it includes everything that that one had. So that's the County Economic Opportunity Board meeting. Then it looks like the last event for September is going to be the Human Services Advisory Council. But it looks like I can go over here and then I can click October. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have things already listed for October. Let's refresh and see if it does anything when I've got it in October. No, it just takes me back to September. So then it looks like they may not have anything yet out there for October, or it just doesn't work like that. Let's just see if we can see them first. Okay, yes, they do have it. So the first has got, it's going to show you everything once you click on the first. Planning Commission, Trails Committee meeting, Recreation Special Service District, Council meeting, Council of Governments, another County Economic Opportunity Board, and a council meeting. So it's possible that I could want to go to more than one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this link, and then I'm going to leave this one here. I'm going to grab a new tab, and I'm going to pull that over to where I'm at right here. I'm going to paste that link, and that should take me to just September. Yes. So this is September's events, where there's a possibility I might try to make it to this County Economic Opportunity Board tomorrow. And then October's events, you know, already pulled up here to check that out. You could do the same thing and see if they have anything already planned for November. And you see that they do, right? And so that's a really valuable tool for somebody being interested in getting involved in their city, their county, their town, their village, whatever it may be, right? These are things that are going to be beneficial in that. And we can just continue to tear through all of these. However, we're after our time and we have another class coming up in Lesko Help 2 in about 12 minutes. So we're going to finish up here. This was more of an overview of the kinds of things that we'll be doing and the steps that we already have planned, so that you guys can consider in your own time if you're interested in pursuing some of these types of interactions in your community, so that we can get you all set up just like I'm getting myself set up right here, right? All right, any thoughts or questions before we shut down real quick? Please just unmute yourselves if you want to ask or comment on anything.
I will let you know next week, Sabrina, when I got all this stuff and put it to work, and I'll let you know next week.
Well, a lot of that we can do here, though, researching like your electrical company to see if it has its own community outreach, or if it has a parent company like mine, researching the tree trimming companies in your community for wood chip mulch, right? Like you want to get a relationship with those guys for other reasons as well, and we can do that at the same time. But you don't need to do the things on your own unless you just want to, because you're interested and excited and you want to do that. That's absolutely fine, of course. But we can do a lot of that here in class and show other people what it is that we're doing when we're doing something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm just wanting to get rid of these salt cedars. So whatever it takes to get rid of these bad boys and get my hill up to par, I think I'm good. But yeah, this is pretty cool information. Like I said, I'll let you know once I start looking up how you walk through all those steps. Pretty cool. I didn't know about that stuff. But I knew about the community, meetings and stuff. Something that I attended, like not personally, but the YouTube channel here in San Bernardino County, they have that. So if you missed it, you can, watch
Real
it. But
thing for
yeah,
a lot of places, right?
yeah, for sure.
Even my little hometown in Cortez, Colorado, they film their committee meetings and things like that, and you can actually go to them live on YouTube even. So there's a lot of things like that out there. All right, guys, let's jump into our CR calendar unless someone else had anything. Tammy, anything more?
No, not right now. Maybe tomorrow.
All right. So we will be back with you tomorrow, and that is going to be the 18th, and that is at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Mountain, 9:30 p.m. Central, and 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you all there. Always lots to talk about in that garden arena. Please feel free to unmute everyone and say good night.
Good night.
Buenos tardes, everybody. I'll see you guys later.
Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.